All in Sports Network. We love sports.
Coming to you from the land of brisket and barbecue, Lone Stars and Longhorns, this is All In Colts presented by the Unstable Blues.
Welcome back in. Super Bowl 59 undid the argument many analysts have been trying to push the past 3 years. Patrick Mahomes is indeed not the GOAT. That leaves us still with a great debate on who holds that position. We will argue our points right here. So let's go. All In Colts.
That's correct. I'm Kevin. This is my son Liam. We're the Unstable Blues. Happy to present All In Colts as part of the Rogue Media Sports Network.
Yep. So with Patrick Mahomes getting exposed in the Super Bowl, the GOAT debate falls again to Tom Brady. But you contend that there is another.
Yep.
So we decided to have what we are calling the Great Debate. And before we talk about this, who is the GOAT, I will say it's not Peyton Manning. Neither of us are choosing Peyton Manning, although I believe Peyton Manning is the best regular season quarterback of all time. Not postseason, but regular season, he is the best of all time.
Okay. I can't disagree with you. I feel like it would be a sacrilege to my
take that as you want
team.
Since we are Colts teams,
right,
or Colts fans, but I think there's a very strong case behind that.
Yeah, there's debate in my mind as to even who the Colts should have drafted in 2012, and it is my goal to have on the runner-up to that competition on our podcast at some point. That's all I'll say. I won't tell you who it is. You got to do your own research and know ball better than that. So we're going to make our case, refute each other back and forth, but we want you to declare a winner in the comments. Don't do it too early. You got to listen to all of the facts. So don't comment until the end of the episode. Don't just be like, it's Tom Brady, just because that's what everyone is going to say. You got to listen to what I'm going to say also, because I have knowledge long before you were ever born.
That is fair. So in that case, you do have the upper hand.
Do I get to go first then?
So the way I like to debate things is I'm not very good at putting out an open statement. So I'm just going to do one smaller one.
Okay.
You could do yours, and then we'll kind of go at it.
Okay.
My open statement is one simple thing. Tom Brady is a Brock Purdy-esque type of story, as in he came in the 6th round, pick 199, I believe. Out of Michigan, he is this underdog story that everybody loves until you don't love it because they're not an underdog anymore. Been in the Super Bowl 10 times. He is 7-3 in those Super Bowls. 7 Super Bowl wins. More than any franchise in NFL history.
That's correct.
That is my opening statement.
Okay. My opening statement goes a little bit more like you haven't seen this movie yet, which, at least to my knowledge, I'm going to go a little bit more Eminem, 8 Mile, Last Rap Battle.
I need to watch that still.
You do. So where I'm going to take everything that you possibly say against my guy and already lay it out so you have no ammunition. Here we go.
Okay.
Yes, Joe Montana had Jerry Rice in his last 2 Super Bowls, but the first 2, he did not. Yes, his first Super Bowl, he only threw for 157 yards and 1 touchdown and got bailed out by his defense and kicker, but he also scored a rushing touchdown as a QB in 1982. Yes, Jerry Rice won the MVP in Super Bowl 23. He caught 11 passes for 215 yards and a TD, but who threw him the ball? Oh, Joe Montana had his most yards in a Super Bowl with 357 that game, and through the game-winning touchdown score to John Taylor, not Jerry Rice. What say you to that?
Okay. Here. Let me kind of go through what you said and pick it apart.
All right.
Okay, yes. Joe Montana did have Jerry Rice. You are correct. Tom Brady had Randy Moss. Not the whole time, though. Tom Brady, most of the time, was working with, as people would call it nowadays, bums. Who was Julian Edelman before he was with Tom Brady? Who was Danny Amendola before he was Tom Brady? Who was Wes Welker before he was with Tom Brady? Gronk was the only one that people knew, partially because he played with Tom Brady his whole career. He came back out of retirement, like Tom Brady did, to play with Tom Brady. There are, like, people that you know nowadays as great wide receivers or whatever because of what Tom Brady was able to do with them. Now I got to run through your next thing. Yeah, 157 yards and 1 touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
That's not great,
Yeah.
but I will say Joe Montana was in more of a league that was running based at the time.
Yep.
Which helps him in this scenario because Tom Brady was in a passing league. But it also discredits Joe because he was in a league that didn't do that as much. So he doesn't have as much stats or as much things like that analysts want to look at that supports that. So he just didn't do as much. What say you to that?
I'm gonna go with Tom Brady.
Oh, okay.
Tom Brady, 7-3 in Super Bowls.
Yes.
Okay, we're focused on the Super Bowls here because that comes down. That's the difference maker in this.
This is why Patrick is no longer here.
Right. Yeah. And so I'm going to say, and okay, we'll run through the stats. 7-3, 65.8% completion percentage, 303.9 yards per game, 21 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 97.7 passer rating. Let me run through the Super Bowls. 2002, he was a game manager, and it was won by his defense and Vinatieri field goal.
Isn't that your job as a quarterback to be a game manager?
2004, he won in a shootout by a Vinatieri field goal. 2005, outperformed by Donovan McNabb on the other side, except for the interceptions. And Donovan McNabb's top receiver, Terrell Owens, played with a broken leg. 2008, 2012, Eli Manning happened. 2015, Pete Carroll run the ball. 2017, 28-3 doesn't happen without defense. 2019, 13-3 doesn't happen without defense. Rams averaged 33 points in the regular season, 28 points in the playoffs, and they were held to 3 points. Tom Brady didn't do that. 2021, 9 points for the Chiefs. Doesn't happen without, say it with me, defense.
You are right. Let me debunk all of these for you.
All right.
As a quarterback, 2002, as a quarterback, your job is to be a game manager at the heart of it. If you don't do the greatest, doesn't matter. But he still put his offense in the place to get a Vinatieri field goal. He did that. Vinatieri did not play quarterback and put them there. Once again, it was a shootout, which is more in favor of Tom Brady than the 2002. And then he goes and puts him in field goal range again. It's like everyone talks about the 13 seconds that Patrick Mahomes had, right? Okay, sure, yeah. Like, it's just about how you manage the clock and what you do with it. If it's just because you're a game manager, then you're filling your role. That doesn't matter. You're still doing your job to win yourself a Super Bowl. 2005. Sure, he was outperformed besides interceptions. What's our 3 things to the game? Time of possession, run the ball, keep running the ball, and win the turnover battle. He won the turnover battle, so he did what he had to.
Yep. He didn't intercept those passes.
Yes, it's true. But he didn't throw them.
You're right. It's correct.
2008, 2012, Eli Manning. There's nothing I can say against that. Manning brother got him. 2015, you make a very, very good point there. Should have ran the ball, but he didn't. Still though, Tom put up the points to make them go for something like that.
Yep.
2017. You're right. It doesn't happen without defense. But that's some dang good offense to come back from that. Yep. I stopped watching the Super Bowl because I thought the Falcons had won.
Yep.
And I came back, and all of a sudden, it's a close game. Yes, the defense locked in, but the defense was failing him in the beginning. And he was failing himself by not scoring, but both sides of the ball stepped up. It wasn't just the defense that stepped up. Next, 13-3. Yes, it doesn't happen without defense. Defense wins championships. I will 100% agree with that statement, especially after watching this Eagles playoff run. Yes, the Eagles scored a ton of points, but it's called momentum. If you can keep momentum on your side, you are set. So I think this was more of a momentum Super Bowl. If it wasn't high scoring, it means both defenses were good. And sometimes that just happens where, you don't play the greatest, which is what a lot of people say about Patrick now. Oh, he just didn't play the greatest. It's one Super Bowl. Yeah, but you're going for a 3-peat. You kind of have to play your greatest ball then.
Yep.
2021, yes, 9 points for the Chiefs doesn't happen without defense, but Tom Brady outplayed Patrick Mahomes, who is in the GOAT debate. And Tom Brady utilized his weapons perfectly in every aspect. He spread the ball whenever he had to. I was going for the Chiefs then, which feels weird saying that now. But he got his 7th ring, and he already was the GOAT before that. But then he came out of retirement and then beat the up-and-coming GOAT to say, you are not the GOAT. And now after Super Bowl 59, Patrick Mahomes is 0-3 in the Super Bowl whenever Tom Brady is in attendance.
And a little aside, since that is true, and yet, so Tom Brady being Patrick Mahomes' kryptonite, Eli Manning then being Tom Brady's kryptonite, doesn't that mean Eli Manning is the GOAT actually?
No, just because you beat someone head to head doesn't mean anything.
Just a little aside. But that's what you're saying right now about Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes.
Well, that's different. That's
what?
It's the head to head plus everything else.
This is your debate, and it's
no. It's
okay. Not yet, but it will right
plus everything else.
Okay. It will right here. This is my closer.
You can do your best.
This is my closer. Okay. Let me run through Joe Cool's Super Bowls. 4 of them in that he had. 1982, he did not have Jerry Rice, as I stated, and they were outgained by the Bengals on the other side of the ball, and he still won the game. 1985, Dan Marino was on the other side. Still no Jerry Rice. He put up 331 and 3 touchdowns. 1989, to me, this is the difference maker. This is a legendary story where he came out on the field, needed to score a touchdown to win the game in the closing minutes of the game. He came into the huddle and he looked at his guys and he said, "Hey, that's the actor John Candy over there from Home Alone fame, the Polka Polka guy."
Yes.
He said, "So here's this momentous moment." And he lightens the mood, puts his guys at ease, goes down and scores a game-winning touchdown drive, not leaving it up to his kicker at all, because he doesn't need to rely on his kicker. And then in 1990, you had John Elway on this other side. He threw for 297 and 5 touchdowns in his greatest passing performance in a Super Bowl.
Okay.
He
Let
wins.
me ask you this.
Okay. I'm going to close with the stats.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. You
Okay.
close with stats.
I'm going to say, compared to Tom Brady, who did all of his Super Bowls in 23 seasons, Joe Montana doing it in about 2/3 of the amount of seasons played, went 4-0. No losses in the Super Bowl, 68% better passing percentage, 285.5. That's less, but different league, as you mentioned. Thank you for that one. He threw 11 touchdowns, no interceptions at all in all 4 collective of his Super Bowls.
It's a different league back then.
And a 127.8 passer rating combined through all 4 Super Bowls. That's my closer. That's my mock drop.
Here's 2 things right here. First off, you mentioned the kicker thing. Kickers were not as prevalent back then. I know this as a kicker. And Adam Vinatieri is the best kicker of all time. So why not leave something like that up to him? Why not do that? Also, that's just my cult. That's my inner cult fan speaking right there. Second thing. Oh my, I lost it again. No, I promise I had some. Oh, yes. So, how many Super Bowls did Montana win on the Chiefs?
He only played 2 seasons with the Chiefs.
Tom Brady played 2 seasons with the Bucs.
Okay.
How many people did he bring back out of retirement, or how many people did he bring over to his team because of who he was? Ooh. See, as the younger generation, we define that as aura, meaning, do you know what aura means? No? Okay.
Sounds wishy-washy to me.
It means like how you carry yourself, basically.
Okay.
And who
Joe
Tom
Cool? Joe Cool. His
Who-
nickname is Cool. Tom Brady's what's Tom
So?
Brady's nickname?
It's Tom Brady
TV
because you don't need anyone. No, you
TV12.
don't need a nickname. What? LeBron has, I'd say, better nicknames than MJ does. Nicknames don't matter.
Air Jordan.
It's MJ. Everybody knows him by MJ, not Air Jordan. I don't call him Air Jordan.
Or just simply Mike. But you didn't live through the generation. You didn't know all the nicknames.
LeBron, Braun, King James. There's a ton that go with LeBron that are similar.
All right.
Regardless.
But we're not talking about them.
Tom Brady had, he retired. Then his first year on another team, he brought someone else out of retirement to play with him and won a Super Bowl. That right there, I think
I gotta fact check you right there. I believe he retired while on the Bucks. Then came back to play one more, and it didn't go so hot.
No, he retired on the Patriots because it was some contract, something or
I
other.
don't think so.
I believe it was. I
All
think
right.
he retired.
We'll leave it to the
twice.
audience. Comment if he's right or I'm right, whether he retired on the Bucks or the Patriots, and your winner. But I think we know. I think we know.
I think the audience knows.
I think the audience knows
Yeah.
who just based on this debate alone, who made the better case for the GOAT. But that's all the time we have for today. Much anything sports related that we want, but we usually focus on other Indiana-based teams.
Yeah. This is Liam
And this is Kevin.
reminding you to stay all in Colts.
All in Sports Network. We love sports.